Deep in the Pacific Ocean, west of South America, lies an archipelago like no other. These are the Galapagos Islands, a cluster of volcanic islands sculpted by time and fire. Straddling the equator, these islands might seem an unlikely paradise, yet they are a haven for unique life, untouched by the outside world for millennia. The Galapagos Islands have long fascinated scientists. Charles Darwin, the father of evolution, visited the islands in 1835. His observations here would change the course of scientific thought. He observed the finches, now known as Darwin's finches, with beaks adapted to their specific diets. These differences, he realized, were key to understanding how species evolve. Darwin's theory of natural selection found a perfect illustration in the Galapagos. The island's isolation allowed species to evolve in unique ways. With limited resources, only the fittest survived. Over countless generations, new species arose, each adapted to its specific niche. The Galapagos remain a vital area of study for scientists today. They offer a glimpse into the processes that have shaped life on Earth. The islands provide crucial insights into evolution, ecology, and conservation. By studying the Galapagos, we learn not just about these islands, but about life itself. The Galapagos Islands are a treasure trove of biodiversity. They are a living laboratory of evolution. But these fragile ecosystems face growing threats. No visit to the Galapagos is complete without encountering its most iconic resident, the giant tortoise. These gentle giants, some weighing over 400 kilograms, roam the islands like prehistoric creatures. Each island boasts its own subspecies, adapted to the specific terrain and vegetation. Saddleback tortoises have evolved longer necks and legs to reach higher for food. These remarkable creatures can live for over a century. Thanks to conservation efforts, their populations are slowly recovering. Witnessing a giant tortoise in its natural habitat is an awe-inspiring experience. The Galapagos Islands are a haven for bird life. Among the most captivating are the blue-footed boobies, known for their bright blue feet and elaborate mating dances. Equally fascinating are the marine iguanas, the only lizards to forage in the ocean. They expel excess salt from their nostrils, creating a fine spray. The Galapagos Islands are not just about iconic creatures like giant tortoises and blue-footed boobies. Life teems in every corner of this volcanic archipelago. On the shores, bright red Sally Lightfoot crabs scuttle among the rocks. Their vibrant colours a stark contrast to the black lava. Sea lions lounge on beaches, their playful barks echoing across the waves. Underwater, a kaleidoscope of marine life thrives. Schools of colourful fish dart among coral reefs. Sea turtles glide gracefully through the water, their ancient eyes observing the underwater world. White-tipped reef sharks patrol the depths, their sleek bodies a testament to their predatory prowess. Even the seemingly barren lava fields teem with life. Lava lizards, their scales camouflaged against the rocks, dart in and out of crevices. Land iguanas, their spiky crests resembling miniature dinosaurs, graze on cacti and other desert vegetation. The Galapagos are a reminder that life finds a way even in the harshest of environments. In 1835, Charles Darwin arrived in the Galapagos Islands. He was aboard HMS Beagle on a scientific expedition. Darwin's observations would revolutionize our understanding of life. He meticulously documented the island's unique flora and fauna. He was intrigued by the variations within species, especially the finches. This idea formed the basis of his theory of evolution by natural selection. Darwin's observations in the Galapagos were a turning point in his scientific journey. He realized that the island's isolation had created a natural laboratory. The finches, separated from their mainland ancestors, had evolved in unique ways to exploit the available resources. Those finches with beaks best suited to their environment were more likely to survive and reproduce. They passed on their advantageous traits to their offspring. Over countless generations, these small adaptations led to the emergence of distinct species, each specialized for its particular niche. Darwin's finches became a powerful symbol of evolution in action. Their beak variations illustrated how natural selection, the driving force of evolution, could shape the diversity of life. The Galapagos, once a remote archipelago, became a cornerstone of biological science. The islands provided compelling evidence for Darwin's theory, published in his landmark book On the Origin of Species. Darwin's work sparked a scientific revolution, transforming our view of the natural world and our place within it. Darwin's legacy lives on in the Galapagos Islands. They remain a living laboratory for evolutionary biologists, ecologists, and conservationists. Scientists continue to study the island's unique species, unraveling the mysteries of adaptation, speciation, and the delicate balance of ecosystems. The Galapagos are a reminder of the interconnectedness of life. They demonstrate the power of natural selection to shape biodiversity and the importance of preserving these fragile ecosystems. But the islands face growing threats from human activities. Tourism, while vital to the island's economy, also brings challenges. Introduced species, pollution, and habitat destruction threaten the very ecosystems that make the Galapagos so unique. Protecting this natural wonder requires a delicate balance between conservation and sustainable development. The Galapagos Islands are a testament to the power of natural selection. Isolated for millennia, these islands became a crucible where life was forced to adapt or perish. The island's unique environment, with its volcanic landscapes, limited resources, and harsh climate, presented a formidable challenge to any creature that dared to call it home. Yet, life found a way. From the smallest insects to the largest tortoises, each species on the Galapagos bears the mark of this evolutionary struggle. Over countless generations, tiny variations within populations, some beneficial, some not, determined which individuals survived long enough to reproduce. Those with advantageous traits, however slight, were more likely to pass on their genes to the next generation. This process, repeated over eons, is the essence of natural selection. It is the driving force behind the incredible diversity of life on Earth, and nowhere is it more vividly illustrated than in the Galapagos Islands. Here we can witness the results of this relentless process etched into the very fabric of life itself. Consider the marine iguanas, those prehistoric-looking reptiles that bask on the volcanic rocks. Their ancestors were likely mainland iguanas swept out to sea by storms or currents. Arriving on these barren shores, they faced a stark choice: adapt or die. The ocean, teeming with algae, offered a source of food, but it was a harsh and unforgiving environment. Those iguanas, with slight variations, had a survival advantage. Over time, these traits became more common in the population. Today, the marine iguana stands as a testament to the power of natural selection. Section 3. Adapting to thrive. On islands where insects were abundant, finches with slender, probing beaks flourished, able to extract their tiny prey with ease. On islands where seeds were the primary food source, finches with larger, more powerful beaks thrived, cracking open tough shells with ease. Each beak variation, a testament to the relentless pressure of natural selection, allowed these birds to exploit their environment and survive. The Galapagos tortoises, those gentle giants of the archipelago, also bear the marks of adaptation. On islands with abundant low-lying vegetation, dome-shaped tortoises, with their restricted upward reach, thrived. But on islands where food was scarcer and higher up, tortoises with saddleback shells, allowing them to stretch their necks higher, gained an advantage. These adaptations, honed over countless generations, are not merely curiosities of nature. They are tangible evidence of the power of natural selection to shape life, molding it to fit the contours of its environment. Section 4. A Symphony of Selection. The Galapagos Islands, a showcase of natural selection in action, remind us that evolution is not a random process. It is a symphony of adaptation, driven by the relentless pressure of survival. Every creature, from the tiniest insect to the largest tortoise, plays its part in this grand orchestra of life. As we marvel at the unique and wondrous creatures of the Galapagos, let us remember that we are witnessing a process billions of years in the making. These islands, a testament to the power of nature, offer a glimpse into the very mechanisms that have shaped life on Earth. They are a living laboratory, a treasure trove of evolutionary wonders, and a stark reminder of the importance of preserving the delicate balance of nature. Section 1. Paradise Imperiled. The Galapagos Islands, for all their remoteness and resilience, are not immune to the challenges facing our planet. These fragile ecosystems, shaped by millennia of isolation, are now grappling with the impacts of human activities. The very features that make the Galapagos so unique, their isolation and the vulnerability of their endemic species, also make them exceptionally susceptible to disruption. Tourism, while vital, brings risks of pollution, habitat disturbance, and invasive species. Climate change casts a long shadow over the Galapagos. Rising sea levels endanger coastal habitats, while ocean acidification threatens marine life. Invasive species, a silent invasion. Perhaps the most insidious threat to the Galapagos comes from invasive species, plants and animals that arrive from other parts of the world, often inadvertently carried by humans. These newcomers, lacking natural predators or competitors, can outcompete native species, disrupt food chains, and alter entire ecosystems. Goats, introduced to the islands centuries ago, have wreaked havoc on native vegetation, their voracious appetite stripping bare entire hillsides. Invasive insects, such as fire ants, prey on native insects and disrupt pollination, impacting plant reproduction. Even seemingly innocuous plants like blackberry bushes can spread rapidly, smothering native vegetation and altering habitats. Controlling and eradicating invasive species is a constant battle, requiring a concerted effort from scientists, conservationists, and the local community. Quarantine measures at entry points, rigorous monitoring of ecosystems, and targeted eradication programs are essential to mitigating the damage caused by these unwelcome invaders. Guardians of the Galapagos. Despite the challenges, there is hope for the Galapagos. The islands have become a symbol of conservation, inspiring a global movement to protect this natural treasure. Scientists, conservation organizations, and the Ecuadorian government are working together to preserve the island's unique biodiversity for generations to come. The Galapagos National Park, established in 1959, protects 97% of the archipelago's land area. Strict regulations govern tourism, limiting visitor numbers and requiring them to be accompanied by certified guides. Research stations, such as the Charles Darwin Research Station, conduct vital scientific research, monitor ecosystems, and develop conservation strategies. Local communities, recognizing the importance of their natural heritage, are increasingly engaged in conservation efforts. Sustainable tourism initiatives provide alternative livelihoods and promote responsible travel practices. Educational programs raise awareness about the importance of conservation, fostering a sense of stewardship among the island's residents. The Galapagos, a beacon of hope in a world facing unprecedented environmental challenges, remind us that conservation is not just about protecting nature, it's about safeguarding our future. A fragile Eden. The Galapagos Islands, a volcanic archipelago sculpted by time and fire, stand as a testament to the power and fragility of life on Earth. These enchanted isles, as Darwin once called them, have captivated explorers, scientists and dreamers for centuries, offering a glimpse into a world unlike any other. Here, giant tortoises lumber across volcanic plains, their ancient shells echoing a time when these islands were still forming. Marine iguanas, those imps of darkness as Darwin described them, bask on sun-baked rocks, their prehistoric forms a reminder of life's enduring ability to adapt. Blue-footed boobies, with their comical courtship dances and vibrant plumage, add a splash of colour to the rugged landscape. But the Galapagos, for all their resilience, are facing unprecedented challenges. Climate change, invasive species, and the pressures of human activity threaten the delicate balance of these unique ecosystems. The very isolation that allowed life to flourish here now makes these islands particularly vulnerable to disruption. Our shared responsibility. The fate of the Galapagos rests in our hands. We have a collective responsibility to protect this natural treasure. By supporting conservation efforts and promoting sustainable tourism, we can ensure the Galapagos continues to inspire wonder. Visiting the Galapagos is a privilege. It is an opportunity to connect with nature and witness the wonders of evolution. Let us protect this fragile Eden for future generations.